Here are 5 simple ideas that help me become way more productive throughout my days. For this video, the format is going to be I give you the idea, I give you a personal example, and then I'm also going to provide a question to help prompt you to figure out how you can best use this in your own personal life. Focus on who you want to become. This is identity-based habit formation. And the way this works is instead of saying you want to go ahead and wake up earlier, you actually want to become an early bird. So for me, I would definitely say I am a night owl, but I found myself with my personal schedule, it works better to actually start waking up earlier. So instead of saying, all right, well, now I just need to force myself to wake up earlier because I don't want to wake up early, I want to become an early bird. How do I do that? Well, I've started formulating different habits throughout my morning, so I have a morning routine, so it becomes as frictionless as possible. I can just go ahead and do the various things I need to do in the morning without having to actually think about it. So I have my alarm, pour myself a glass of water, and then I sit down and plan my day. I go ahead and just write it out on a notepad and just get to visualize and think through my day. And I found that not only helps me wake up in the morning, it actually helps me be more productive throughout the day because I've already lightly visualized my entire day ahead. But the best thing about it is I don't have to think. I can just go ahead, wake up, and within those 10-15 minutes of accomplishing those 2 simple, easy tasks, I'm way more awake and a little more prepared for the day, and I can just start getting ready for the day. So the prompt for you is, what's one small habit that makes you feel like a more productive or intentional version of yourself? The next idea is habit stacking. And I've lightly mentioned this in my morning routine where because I wanted to become an early bird, not a night owl, an early bird, I've gone ahead and habit stacked various habits in my morning. So as soon as I wake up, I go ahead and pour myself a glass of water. That's the first habit in the morning. And I habit stack that with planning out and visualizing my day. So that's the second habit. So I'm stacking these habits together early in the morning without having to think about it. And again, that reduces the amount of friction in the morning. Even when I'm tired and I don't want to really do anything, I'm able to do these 2 very simple low energy habits because I've made it as frictionless and as automatic as possible. And that's why habit stacking can be very important. But you have to be careful with how you habit stack, and I'll go ahead and further depth in our 5th idea of how I found the best way that works for me in terms of how to habit stack most effectively. But I found habit stacking, when done effectively, can be very fruitful for the rest of my day because it lowers that friction and makes it really easy. And the prompt for this idea is, what's one behavior you can stack on top of something you already do every single day? Low effort, but big payoff. When it comes to this habit, immediately I think of sweets. I love ice cream. I love all things sugary, sweet goodness, but I know it's not good for me. So what's the best way for me to have the easiest possible way to counteract that? So for me, I just don't buy sweets and I don't bring them to the house because it's less work for me to have to go ahead and just not buy it, right? And I also get my end result of not eating too many sweets, not eating really ice cream or anything like that around the house because I just don't buy it. I just completely avoid it. I've also found things like going ahead and just exiting out of my current web browser if I have 10 different tabs for one specific task. Once I finish that task, I just close that browser out and create a new browser. And it takes an extra 2 seconds to just close the browser and open a new one, but I found that mentally helps me refresh to then switch to the next task. So what's the smallest habit you could do today that would have a noticeable impact on your life? And with removing ice cream from the house, this leads us to idea number 4, environment hacking. And I use environment hacking not only with sweets, but also with other distractions, for example, with my phone. What I found is my phone is my biggest distraction throughout my day when I'm trying to be productive and just get work done. Setting my phone in airplane mode or leaving it outside of the room has helped me become way more productive in the hours that I'm trying to focus and actually work and do my tasks. Mainly because 1, it's out of sight, so out of mind, but also because I don't hear any notifications. I don't get any notifications because it's out of the room or it's on airplane mode. And so I can just focus and be more present on what I want to focus on. And because I'm in this flow state and not getting any other distractions, I can just go ahead and continue in that flow state. Trust me, removing any distractions that are within the environment where I want to go do a specific thing has absolutely changed my productivity because I can just go into that flow state and simply exist for who knows however many hours getting that task done. So by the time I'm done 3, 4, 5 hours later, not only have I achieved that flow state, but I've become way more effective in those 4 or 5 hours than if I were to just break those hours apart, because I was able to tap into like this different energy and go for much longer, and thus like just be way more effective during that time. And then the way I found I can make habits and habit stacking way more effective is by utilizing what I call energy audits. You want to match your habits and tasks to your natural energy throughout the day. So for me, again, I'm a night owl. I'm not an early bird, or I wouldn't classify myself as a natural early bird. I found if I try to stack reading in the morning, that's a bit too complex of a task for me to sort of look forward and be mentally prepared to do, because I'm still kind of groggy. I'm still not mentally ready to like go ahead and sit for an hour and like read. So I found doing other lighter tasks, I'm way more effective and productive during that time than forcing myself to read. But I found if after a few hours later throughout in the day, then I can go ahead and read for that hour, because I'm more awake, I'm more mentally ready, I'm ready to just go ahead and get that done. Another example is if I try to go hit the gym early in the morning, I'm not as mentally ready to go ahead and say, yeah, I'm going to go after the gym, than planning my gym sessions right after work, because right after work I've gotten several tasks done, but then I'm also mentally switching to a different tasks where I have an hour to go ahead and hit the gym, but I'm awake enough. I don't have to think too much because I've already planned my gym schedule, and I can just show up, get the work done, but I'm awake enough to actually be an effective workout. All this to say, energy audits are the hardest of these ideas, but I would say it is the most effective for me in terms of utilizing the other ideas mentioned, habit stacking, and figuring out what tasks and ideas you want to go ahead and achieve throughout the day. Again, because your energy is going to be different from my energy, different from another person's energy. So find what works for you. Don't be afraid to go ahead and utilize that same task, but put it in a different area of the day. Put it at a different time and see if that works for you. Remember, when it comes to habit formation, when it comes to productivity, you have to taste, test, and experiment. So don't be afraid to test it out, experiment with it, see what works for you, see what doesn't work for you, so you can spend more energy and more time towards the things that have really shown value for you. To recap the ideas that have absolutely changed my productivity, go ahead and focus on who you want to be: habit stacking, low effort, big payoff, environment hacking, and energy audits. If you have productivity tips or hacks you want to share, please feel free to comment down below. Remember, today's a great day to have a great day. So have a great day, and thanks for watching.